Mm. Now, next, Shane, let's kick it on down to Gainesville, where old Billy Napier, he met with the media here on Tuesday as well. Asked about Anthony Richardson and the growth. We all know how important Anthony Richardson is to this team, particularly this year where they're lacking some depth on probably both sides of the ball. But you remember when we were down there at Media Day, Shane, we interviewed Zach Goodall from Sports Illustrated, covers the Florida Gators. And the point he made, of course, Anthony Richardson has had his injury issues. What happens if that star quarterback goes down? The Gators virtually got nothing behind them. They got a couple freshmen. They got an Ohio State transfer with 4 years of eligibility. It sounds like these guys are doing their part. Billy Napier seems pleased with them. Now, could be just coach speak, but, hey, he seems pretty fired up about it. And also, you know, one thing they have got to get fixed, one thing that just killed them last season, particularly that Kentucky game that led to Shane singing on the show, penalties. They have got to fix these penalties. And as Billy Napier says, more games are lost than won due to damn penalties. So let's kick it over to old Billy.
Should have got a personal foul for singing that damn song, you know?
Billy, everybody's talked about Anthony Richardson. Obviously, we'd like to know what your impressions are of him. But would you talk about the rest of the quarterback room and what you're seeing from them so far? I know it's early in the practice thing, but you obviously have impressions of each guy out there.
Yeah, friends. I mean, I think we've got a chance to watch these guys for 5 days. You know, Anthony, there's no question that his confidence and comfort level with the verbiage, with the communication, I think he's more concise, and we've seen him be much more accurate. You know, the old adage, we're on the same page. I think we're making progress to being on the same sentence, if that makes sense. You know, so he is, you know, I think his feet are in the right place because he's processing quicker. He's able to anticipate, and the ball's going to the right place. So very pleased with Anthony and where he's at. I think he's getting more comfortable in that leadership role and the things that come with being the quarterback at the University of Florida. Jack Miller also has done extremely well. Been very pleased with Jack. Yesterday in particular, we gave him a few racks with the first group, you know, just as a healthy experience for him, and I thought he did some really good things. So, you know, in this setting, at quarterback, you're dependent on the players around you, you know, the offensive line, the tight ends, the running backs, the receivers. So I think when we get things, we're executing. Jack's very capable. You know, and I will say this, going all the way back to spring, he's moved our team. You know, I know the spring game he threw a couple interceptions and all that, but he's consistently made the right decision. He's very capable. He's got arm talent. He's accurate, and he's a good athlete. So I think we made a really good decision there, and realizing that he is a freshman, right, and he has 4 years to play. I would say Kitna is the player that I probably saw the most growth in, you know, from spring practice, just to see him take another step. Fundamentally, I thought he's throwing the ball much more consistently, much more accurate, better grasp. You know, had a little bit of a setback injury-wise. We anticipate getting him back. He had a small procedure just yesterday. And then Max is a rookie player, and he's going through those growing pains that most rookie quarterbacks go through, right? Everybody's a little bigger and a little faster, a lot of information, a lot to process there. And he's a reflection of most of the rookies on our team. So,
players over the weekend, we're talking about the penalty reports, and also notice you have officials and all the practice. How much are players, you think, taking that to heart, and what have you seen in growth as far as that aspect of the game?
Well, you know, more games are lost than won, right? And I think I think one of the things you got to do is you, as a staff, is teach your players what winning football looks like. You know, we've always taken tremendous pride in not giving the other team anything, right? And you know, I think undisciplined penalties are, you know, things that you can eliminate, right? You start there. You start with undisciplined penalties. You start with turnovers. You start with mental errors, lack of effort plays, fundamental and technique flaws. we want to eliminate the chinks in the armor, right? I mean, make the other team beat you. And we've always taken great pride in that. I think incrementally each year at the previous stop, we got better in those areas. But when you're taking over a team or a business or any form of leadership, I think the first thing you do is you quality control. What are the things that have nothing to do with the competition or the opponent, and you try to address those things. This is an exercise we do each year. We're going to have some penalties in the game. Our goal is to play 1 in every 30 plays, and we want those to be technical penalties and not undisciplined penalties. So we're making progress there. I think we won't know until we get into that competitive opportunity in venues, but I think it's part of the growth of this team and the education of this team.
All right, Shane, you still awake over there?
Oh man, just finished. That's one thing. Have you ever tried the caffeine alcohol? Have you ever done that? I did a lot of Jaeger bombs growing up. That was like my version of caffeine. But now they've got so many damn drinks out here. Apparently, you could get drunk and alert at the same time. I don't know if that's a good combination. You know what I'm saying? But you may need a shot of coffee after that one. But Billy's never been the guy to wow us at the podium. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. But he did. If you think about what he said, he had some great comments here, Mike.
Yeah, and more camp buzz that I'm hearing, Shane, when we talk around the SEC Florida Gators. This transfer they brought in from Arizona State, Ricky Pershaw. Yeah. Apparently he's the real deal. And he's going to be maybe their number one receiver this year down there in Gainesville. Yeah. Now, does that fire you up that maybe you got an elite player? Or does it say, well, hell, maybe we didn't have many receivers down here. But I have been hearing good stuff about Trent Whittemore, who's back as well. So those are just two names to keep your eye on. I think they're going to be two of the better receivers to start the season for the Florida Gators. Ricky Pershaw and Trent Whittemore, getting some good buzz out of those two from camp.
And I'll tell you this, too, on the quarterback front. You can't go into a season worried about your QB1 because I think when you look at the East, Mike, there's a lot of schools that are in trouble if QB1 goes down.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it with Tennessee. I mean, what's behind Will Levis? What's behind Spencer now? There is not a lot of programs right now that are too deep. We don't have we're not as fortunate as Texas A&M and LSU right now and this Georgia. There are a couple of programs that have got that depth, but it is what it is. We're banking on Anthony Richardson being the savior of that football team this season, and I'm not willing to worry about injury. Like if I can only get 9 games out of Anthony Richardson, I am happy with those 9 games. But I'm going in ready for a complete season. You cannot worry about injuries. That's one thing. You just can't do it, man. Especially if you're gambling. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like Florida is going to hit that over, man, do it because you're betting on Anthony Richardson being healthy the entire season and putting up some Heisman numbers.
Yeah, and it's funny that you mentioned A&M and LSU, Shane, because, hey, I hope, nobody transfers out. But as soon as they name a starter, hell, for all we know, there could be multiple transfers. You know what I mean? So who knows how long they'll have depth at the quarterback position even.
Exactly.